Hello there, Roster Watch Nation. It's your friendly neighborhood Trashman back with another Best Ball Mania 3 draft using our Best Ball cheat sheet version 7.0, most recent version. So if you're out there and you're joining along or would like to join along, I'm joining this Best Ball Mania 3 draft right now. So we're still waiting for 7 people. So if you are joining the broadcast, then feel free to join the draft as well. Now we need 6 people to join the draft. So I'll wait for you. A lot's been happening in the NFL over the past week. So it'll be interesting to see how this draft deviates from the one I did last week. A lot's going on in football right now, and so then a lot's going on in fantasy by association. So we're waiting for 5 more people. So if you're out there and you want to join the draft, please do. Go to underdogfantasy.com. They'll match, if it's your initial deposit, they'll match it up to $100. So it's a really good deal if you use their code roster when you join up. And that helps us out some too. You know, it's a symbiotic relationship we have with Roster Watch Nation. And so, yeah, now we're waiting for 2 more people. So 2 more spots left. 1 more spot. Oh, and there it goes. Hopefully you're able to join in that draft, or this draft rather. Finally getting some rain here in Austin. It's been a minute. It's been super dry. And for that reason, all the critters are wanting to get into my house. So hopefully this will keep them satiated for a minute. So the draft starts in 30 seconds. We are drafting out of the 6th spot. Hoping to maybe get Jamar Chase if he falls. If not, well, we'll see what the cheat sheet says. So as usual, Jonathan Taylor goes off the board first. Then Justin Jefferson over Cooper Kupp. And Christian McCaffrey. I think people are afraid of this Matt Stafford elbow business. I'm not so afraid of it. Matt Stafford has played sub 100% many a season. Oh, so Eckler goes before Kupp. Oh, I get Jamar Chase. Stoked on that. And so now then I'm already starting to think about stacks I can make. Detroit versus everybody. Joey. Well, if you're a Detroit fan, then I feel for you. It's not much better being a Cowboys fan these days. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Stefon Diggs. Some news coming out of Buffalo that Isaiah McKenzie is actually angling, maybe in the lead for the slot position there in Buffalo. So he's going to be somebody that I want to take a look at late in this draft. Najee Harris just went. And then there's that rookie Warren. Well, he's an undrafted free agent, Warren, running back out of Pittsburgh. Looks like he could be the backup to Najee. in Pittsburgh. He's somebody else I can look at late in this draft. If Harris were to miss time, I mean, he'd be in for a boatload of touches. Travis Kelsey, Devontae Adams, and then Swift just went. There's your Detroit, and then there's my Cowboy, CeeDee Lamb. So already we have Jamar Chase. Stacks I could conceivably make. I mean, if Joe Mixon falls here, I might just take him and just get that Cincinnati stack going. Let's see. This guy already took a running back, so maybe he won't take another. Well, he did, but he took Alvin Kamara. All right, I'll take Joe Mixon here. So I have a Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase start. It's an easy stack so far. And so I'll look to add Joe Burrow. Here. I don't know if I'll have to take him with my next pick. I might, but hopefully I get another pick before I have to take him. Yeah, it's paying Joe. I mean, at least I know, like, from when I was a kid, we won those 3 championships in the early 90s. So that's what I'm still coasting off of that. I mean, you had Barry Sanders, though. That's something. Calvin Johnson. Some of the singular best players we've had in the NFL the last couple decades. Four picks. Wait, this draft's going by quickly. I like it. Higgins just went. I'm not going to have to take Joe Burrow with my next pick. Hoping that maybe Michael Pittman falls. If not, I'd be happy taking either Keenan Allen or Mike Williams, or maybe even Kyle Pitts. It's rare there that I get a marquee tight end in one of these best ball drafts. But I'm not opposed to the idea. I also like Cortland Sutton a lot. News out of Colorado is that Russell Wilson has made Sutton his go-to. So that might, I don't know. Maybe I'd take Sutton with my next pick. I think I'm going to. Yeah, I haven't gotten him really in any of the drafts I've done, any of the best ball drafts I've done so far. So I'm going to go with Sutton. So right now the team as it stands: Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton. Pretty solid start. Let's see here. I'm going to see where Burrow falls in the grand scheme of the things. I think I could get another pick in before I have to take Burrow too. Actually, maybe another 2 picks before I have to take Burrow. So here I'll probably look to take another running back, or if there's a pretty good tight end available, might go in that direction too. A lot of options right now still. It's early in this draft. I could potentially take Jerry Judy there. So then I'd have and then work for a Cincinnati, Denver stack. I've yet to stack either of those teams, I think, thus far in best ball drafts. I don't know. Just the way that this draft is falling, that might be the best option actually. Lock up the Denver receiving core for the most part, and then have a really stout Cincinnati stack too. If I could get Russell Wilson and Joe Burrow, then I would be pretty set. And so again, so the name of the game in these large field tournaments is stacking. So having multiple players like quarterback, running back, tight end, quarterback, running back, wide receiver from the same team. Okay. Oh, somebody took Judy before I got the chance. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here with James Conner. So running backs right now, I have Joe Mixon, James Conner. Receivers, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton. So again, I don't think I'm going to have to take Joe Burrow with my next pick. I might look to get one of these tight ends, either Darren Waller or George Kittle. I'll cue them both up. And if I can't get either of them, I think I might grab J.K. Dobbins. With Gus Edwards not looking like he's going to start the season, potentially. We could finally see the bell cow and Dobbins that we've all been waiting for. What's up, Kyle? What's up here? Just open the windows, listen to the rain, the thunder. We haven't had it in weeks here. Okay. Kittle went before me. Yeah, so neither of those tight ends I'm going to be able to get. That being the case, I have a lot of options here. I'm leaning towards J.K. Dobbins, though, just because I think he's going to get a strong start to the season, especially if Gus Edwards doesn't start the season. And this, they're just going to be really run heavy team. And I mean, just with the speculation that Dobbins might not start week one, I think he will, but just the speculation might keep a few people away from him in some of these best ball drafts. So it's a risk I'm willing to take. So right now, the team as it stands, running back heavy, Joe Mixon, James Conner, J.K. Dobbins, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton. Still a great looking team so far. Okay. I might have to take Joe Burrow with this next pick if he's still around. It might be a bit of a reach, but in order to get this stack, I think that might be what I would need to do. Hope you guys have been keeping up with our radio appearances on Sirius this preseason. It's been a lot of fun doing the evening shows. I don't know why, but the energy is a little bit different, maybe a little bit more laid back. We have a lot of fun on those shows. Okay, so Jalen Hurts just went. So 2 quarterbacks ahead of Joe Burrow. Oh, and then one. Okay, I'm gonna take Joe Burrow here just to get this stack, just to make sure I got it. And there we go. So I have at least one stack. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, and then Jamar Chase. In addition to that, I have James Conner, J.K. Dobbins at running back, and then Cortland Sutton at receiver. So right now, I think I'll go on maybe a little receiver run. I'll take Chris Olave if he falls to me for sure. Love Chris Olave. Maybe my favorite receiving prospect in this year's draft. Some other guys I like. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, it's pretty, maybe it's decent value where you can get him. Although I don't know how I feel about taking DeAndre where I can get him right now, just because I only have two other receivers. Some rolling thunder. Antonio Gibson looks like he's falling. I mean, I guess rightfully so after the week he's had. Let's probably start looking at tight ends too. T.J. Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, Rashad Penny. I don't know how he's still this low. I mean, it looks like Kenneth Walker's questionable to start the season now. Rashad Penny's going to get a ton of run. Robert Woods, I like. I think he actually might lead Tennessee in receiving this season. I know Treylon Burks is the new hotness, but from everything that I've seen out of Tennessee camp, Burks, I don't know. I'm not too bullish on him right now. I'm staying away from this Buffalo backfield. It looks more and more like it's going to be a three-headed monster with James Cook, Devin Singletary, and Zach Moss. So I'm hands off right now. Yeah, Joe, I get to fudge ADP a little to complete a six stack. And maybe I don't know. I'll look. I mean, I'll probably able to make another stack later here in the draft too. Oh crap! I didn't realize I was picking, but I had Chris Olave queued up, and he was the next guy that I wanted, so that worked out. So receivers right now: Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave. I need to look too and make sure that I don't have a ton of guys with the same bye week. Okay, so Mixon and Dobbins have the same bye week. Have to look out for a week 10 and Burrow. Um, So I'm wanting to avoid week 10 bye weeks, at least for a little while in this draft. So this is kind of actually not a very intriguing part of the draft for me, this area right here. From like ADP 80 to 95 maybe. It's not very interesting to me. So I'll probably take Rashad Penny here and then a tight end or tight end and then Rashad Penny. Make that decision when I get closer to it. I just can't believe that Kareem Hunt's going ahead of Rashad Penny right now. Okay. 4 picks away. It's like we got the Halloween version of the Best Ball 3 Mania draft a couple months in advance. For Ramondre Stevenson just went. Looks like he's going to get the third down back role and more in New England with the retirement of James White. Looks like he could be a PPR beast this season. Miles Sanders, I don't love right now. He looks like he's not going to be in on third downs. Robert Woods, sucks. All right, I'm going to take Rashad Penny right here. I know I could take Hawkinson or Goddard, but I just feel like you can't get value like Penny anywhere else around this point in the draft. He's going to get a ton of touches in that Seattle run-heavy offense. And then, now we're hearing that Kenneth Walker's having some sort of procedure done. Who knows when he'll be back for sure. Okay, so team thus far: Joe Burrow, quarterback; Joe Mixon, James Conner, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Penny, sick running back core; Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave at receiver. Really like everything that's been going on here. It's like my dog, Speedy, is come to say hello. I think this thunder may be scaring him a little bit. At least it's not fireworks, right, bud? Okay, so looks like I might be able to take Dawson Knox at tight end with this next pick. Oh, Dameon Pierce, I just saw that. He's somebody I'm targeting in drafts too. I mean, it looks more and more like every day like he's going to be the guy in Houston. All right, so for my first tight end, Dawson Knox, I like it. And so now I can start to have a little fun. Maybe think about some other stacks that are possible. I mean, really, based off my running backs, it might have to be a Seattle stack, which, isn't that bad just because I don't think a lot of people are going to be on a Seattle stack in this field. I think it'll be one of the lesser used stacks. So I don't mind having one of these rosters with a Seattle stack. I've done a lot of these drafts. But Lockett just went, so that makes that a little bit harder. I could maybe look for like a Noah Fant at tight end as my second or third tight end. And so then I'd have him, Rashad Penny, and then I'd look for Geno Smith late in the draft. Four picks before I go again. Could potentially get a Matthew Stafford here. And then I need to see if Darrell Henderson's still around. It seems like he's been getting almost as many. No, there he is. I could maybe get a Matthew Stafford here and then get Darrell Henderson with my next pick potentially. And then add Van Jefferson somewhere along the line and have a gnarly Ram stack. I actually don't hate that idea. Don't hate it at all. So we'll give it a shot. See how that goes. I mean, it'll depend on Darrell Henderson being around for my next pick. But they're saying like he's getting almost as many touches as Cam Akers in the backfield right now. And Coach McVay said that he views them as having two backs, starting backs, a 1A and 1B, if you will, in Los Angeles. What do you recommend for bye weeks when drafting? Yeah, you just don't want to have too many guys with the same bye weeks at the same position. Um, I mean, when you're stacking players like you do in these that you know tend to need to do in these large field tournaments, you're going to have some guys with the same bye weeks. But as far as you can, if they're at the same positions, if you want to try to not get similar bye weeks. So, like in here, I have two running backs that have a week 10 bye week, but I have more running backs than any other position at this point. So it's not so bad. But like for instance, if Darrell Henderson had a week 10 bye, I wouldn't take him with this next pick. And hopefully he falls to me. Hopefully Elusive Goats isn't a part of this broadcast or isn't watching this broadcast. But then again, Henderson is the next player up in this, according to ADP, so I might just take him anyway. No, took Joshua Palmer there. So I'm going to take Darrell Henderson and try to put together a Rams stack here late. So I have Matthew Stafford, Darrell Henderson. And I mean, I imagine it'll have to be Van Jefferson. Or I was just reading about there's another guy in the Rams receiving core who's been getting some run in this preseason. His name eludes me right now, but if for some reason I miss it on Jefferson, I'll find that out real quick and angle in on him. But I don't think I'll have to take Jefferson for a minute. No problem, Kyle. So 5 picks away. Just looking at who's up. I mean, Romeo Dubs, I think, has some really good upside. And this is kind of the point of the draft where we're looking for some upside. We're starting to look for upside. Michael Gallup, I mean, we know he's not going to start the season, but he's going to get a hell of targets when he does get in the game. Isaiah McKenzie, remember I was talking about him at the beginning of the broadcast. Looks like the slot receiver. Looks like he could be the starting slot receiver for Buffalo. Khalil Herbert's going to get a ton of touches in the Chicago backfield. I was just at Chicago Bears camp a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to be heavily involved. Isaiah Pacheco, somebody I'll look at. Wan'Dale Robinson, I love his upside. Oh, there I am. I'm going to take Michael Gallup with this pick. Just make sure his bye week's okay. Because I have other decent receivers, so by the time Gallup gets up to speed, I think we'll be okay. And that's just good. I mean, one, people are going to be off of Gallup because he's not going to start the season. And two, he's going to get a ton of volume whenever he is in. And because of the format, the best ball format, I think it'll work out okay. Thunder's intense, but we need the rain here in Central Texas. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the other guys who are being drafted around Michael Gallup, I mean, it's I think he's off. I think there's value that you're getting. All right. So I think I might take Isaiah McKenzie here. Looks like he's going to be the slot receiver in Buffalo. And so then with this next pick, I think I take Van Jefferson here. If he falls. So I have 5 picks left in this draft. So I take Van Jefferson with this next pick. Then I'll look to some other positions, maybe another running back, maybe Khalil Herbert if he falls, and then probably add another tight end. Or if for some reason I miss out on Van Jefferson, I could potentially get Tyler Higbee later to make that Ram stack. And then here, Noah Fant's still here. I could take him, and then, I love Paris Campbell always. And then maybe you can get a Geno Smith with my last pick and have 3 stacked potentially. Could end up working out that way. Herbert looked great. I mean, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was. He's very stout, built like a tree trunk. He's got these thick thighs, and he's powerful. Using him as a between the tackle runner too. I mean, like he was more efficient on the runs that he had last season than David Montgomery was between the tackles. I mean, David Montgomery, though, to his credit, looked great too. But this is going to be a run-heavy offense for the Bears. I mean, they don't have a second receiver after Darnell Mooney at this point, and their offensive line kind of stinks. So I don't think that Justin Fields is going to have a ton of time in that, to get the ball out. I think it's going to be a run-heavy offense, and Herbert's going to be a big part of that. Okay, so I'm going to take Van Jefferson here. To complete that Ram stack. So I have 2 stacks so far. So Joe Burrow, Cincinnati, Matthew Stafford, LA, then running backs Joe Mixon, James Conner, J.K. Dobbs, Rashad Penny, Darrell Henderson, receivers Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave, Michael Gallup, Isaiah McKenzie, Van Jefferson, and then Dawson Knox at tight end. So week 10 and week 7 buys I need to avoid with these last several picks. So I'm going to get Tyler Higbee out of there. See some other running backs maybe that I want to maybe take a chance on. Looking for upside. Benjamin looks like he's going to be the number 2 in Arizona. Okay. I'm going to take Paris Campbell with this next pick just because he's just one of my sleepers that I really like. So I'm off receivers for now. Well, probably for the rest of this draft, actually. So I have 2 picks left, I believe. 3 picks. Yeah, 3 picks left. So I'll probably take running back, tight end, and then whoever else I feel like offers some upside at the end of this draft. Evan Ingram is an interesting guy. You know, he didn't really thrive in New York, but he didn't really do well in cold weather. So he's down in Jacksonville now. Taysom Hill was always an argument for him, just in case he actually gets snaps at quarterback. Deshaun Watson we could take late. You know, he's going to miss most of the season, but in the games that he does play, he could do really well for you. And there's, what kind of value are you getting at that point in the draft anyway, potentially, where you can get him? Tyler Conklin, I like for the Jets. Word out of camp is he's been getting a lot of targets. Greg Dulcich in Denver, he's a rookie, but he's been playing a lot with the ones. Josh O'Kelly for the Chargers looks like the front runner for that second running back position for the Chargers. I actually might like him more than Benjamin as the next running back I take. There's that Jalen Warren guy I was talking about, the backup in Pittsburgh. Looks like he's going to be the number 2 there. Oh, and there we go. I'm going to take Josh Kelly. Just because I think he offers pretty considerable upside where you can get him in these drafts right now as a potential number 2 for the Chargers. Okay, so I have Geno Smith queued up just in case I want to. Well, I guess, yeah, I can't really do the Seattle stack anymore. Let's know I thought I had Noah Fant queued up, but maybe I don't. But I think Noah Fant may have been picked up at this point. Let's close the window a little bit. This rain's getting pretty loud. Yeah, so the Seattle stack's not going to work out, it looks like. So actually get Geno Smith out of there. Any other stacks I can make, though? Here at the tail end? I don't think so. So we won't worry about that. Do need another tight end, though. And I'm going to make it Taysom Hill. Why not? I don't think I've taken him in one of these best balls. Maybe one or maybe one other one. And so maybe I just add another tight end at the end of this, just because I do like Conklin, I do like Dulcich. We'll see what other value we have here at the tail end of the draft. Could add Gus Edwards, so then I'd have Dobbins and Edwards, and just like shore up that Baltimore backfield. See who else. Not really seeing a lot of guys here at the tail end of the draft. I feel like have a lot of upside. I mean, you could add a Desmond Ritter, or the chance that he maybe takes over that starting role at some point in the season for Marcus Mariota. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm going to take Tyler Conklin with this next pick. As he's getting a lot of targets in New York. And I don't think a lot of people are on to him yet. And then with this last pick, I think I'm going to choose from these guys that I have already queued up. So I'm it was already over. I overstated my my welcome there. And so there you have it. Another successful draft. This best ball 3 tournament. How many of each position I'm taking? I don't really look at it that way. I kind of look at the positions that I have, the depth of those positions, and if I have guys who maybe won't start the season or who I think are more injury prone, and so then I might draft another player in that position. Yeah, and then at the end of the drafts, I'm looking for upside almost exclusively. So if I'm finding more upside in a particular position, I'll stick to that position later in the draft. So there you have it. Another successful draft using the best ball 3 cheat sheet, at least in some part, deviating, where I needed to, and getting a couple really good stacks. Anyway, there you have it. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next Thursday. Peace.